going to go, kind of a catch and shoot type of player, and just let him know what he needed to do to elevate his game, not just on the floor, but then also off of it. And I think that he's met all expectations.
Yeah, I had a chance to watch him in that game earlier in the year at the Shelby Sectional against St. Mary's Central Catholic, and he dropped probably one of the quietest 28 lines that I've seen. Nearly 30 points, had 10 in the first quarter of that game. He plays the game really well, really smooth, and just so many great guys in the area, and he's really developed well, and I think stepped into this leadership role for Coach Selden and in a great way.
Let's show you how Colonel Crawford's been able to get to this point on our tournament trail timeline. Diving in here with the Eagles, and on February 24th, we take you back to the sectional championship where they knocked off St. Mary's Central Catholic. That was a simple one for them, and not much of a test, of course, because, I mean, this is just a really quality Colonel Crawford team going against an outmatched opponent in that one, Hayden, and they made it look that way.
Yeah, they started off slow, but then once everyone kind of caught up with Baker, they were able to cruise.
February 28th in the district semifinal, this was a little bit different story. Norwalk St. Paul came off of back-to-back upset wins to get their way into the District S sectional champs, and it wouldn't be till late, but Jacob Maddie and company would put them away. Big dunk right there. Totally just kind of ended the game, as Jacob was huge. He had, I believe, 28 points in that game. And then in the district championship, the second win over Lucas on the season. This was a battle for 3 quarters, and in the fourth, Crawford started to kind of pull away. They got a big game from our MVP of the night, number 1, their junior stud, Trevor Vogt. And then the others stepped up and did their thing as well. So that's how they've been able to get here on the regional trail and hoisting up the big trophy. So we'll go ahead and pause for a second and get you ready for tip-off. First, the playing of our national anthem, Star Spangled Banner. Always such a cool time before the game, the calm before the storm. Everybody takes in the national anthem a little bit differently, and there was opportunity for both of these teams on the cusp of making it to the Elite Eight with a victory here tonight. So for Colonel Crawford, Hayden, I'm going to let you know what their key to success is tonight, how they can move on and play for a chance to go to the state Final Four. I just believe that the Eagles got to live in the paint. They're just so effective down on the block, almost 58% shooting as a team inside of the three-point line. So that is my Baker's Pizza key to victory. What's yours?
Mine would be just their whole body of work together as a unit, and don't try and overdo it in one specific area. Just play a good game. You know, obviously we talked about Baker. He's the guy everyone's going to look to do the scoring, but they've also got Jacob Maddie. Trevor Vogt has really stepped into his own here. Gabe Few can get it done. Ethan Holt. So really just work together well and realize that it doesn't just have to be one guy tonight.
And on the other side for the Dalton Bulldogs, you got to force some single-shot possessions. The Eagles have collected 220 offensive rebounds on the year, so you got to keep them off the glass. If you allow extra possessions, obviously that can be detrimental. So if you can get a body on a body, keep the Eagles away from developing extra possessions, I think it could be a happy ending for the Dogs here in this one.
For me, Dalton's going to need to bite down on the passing lanes for the Eagles. The Eagles, while I have seen them play this year, move the ball really well, and that leads to some nice buckets. Whether it's the inside or outside game, they move it nice. And so you've got to try and cut that off. Whether they're trying to get it to the paint to Jacob Maddie or kick it back out to Baker, they have got to be aggressive and try and play lockdown defense to cut off those passing lanes.
Take a look at the starting lineup tonight for the Dalton Bulldogs. Coming at you now. And we'll begin with the senior, Jack Steiner. Over 14 points per game for him. He's been fantastic. Brady Hignite, the sophomore guard. He's almost at 8 points per game. Excellent on-ball defender as well. We've talked a lot about Wenger and everything that he brings to the equation. 6'7", basically can run the point for them. Here's Braden Feisler, another senior that they get into the mix. Doesn't score a lot, but he is an effective, efficient scorer when he gets his opportunities. And then on the inside, Quentin Lehman, this kid, another great scorer. And then their head coach, Justin Greenfelder. That is your Bulldogs. And for Colonel Crawford, basically the same starting lineup that they've had all season long. Trevor Vogt, the junior, coming off of arguably his best game of the season on the biggest stage. Ethan Holt, almost 5 points per game for the Eagles, doing some nice things as a junior. And then the three seniors, Derek Horsley, he's so confident with the basketball in the backcourt, never turns it over. Braxton Baker, he can play inside, outside. This dude, he can score from all over the floor. And then Jacob Maddie, this guy really has come into his own in his final campaign wearing an Eagles uniform, and maybe the best in the business to do it in North Central Ohio. 17 seasons on the job. David Sheldon back here at the regionals, where it seems like the Eagles are going to continue to make their stay, Hayden. So that's a look at both starting lineups and getting closer to tip-off here. This we're starting to get the feel and the vibe here for some tournament basketball as this place starting to fill up a little bit more.
Yeah, it definitely has filled in within just the last few moments, and you kind of got the upper deck and the lower bowl here at the Canton Memorial Field House, and I took a quick stroll down before we started tonight, and I tell you, those lower bowls are packed, so it's such a neat atmosphere, especially for a tournament game. It's one of those that feels slightly, it's definitely elevated from your average high school gym, but it's not overbearingly big to where it feels barren. I think it's going to be a good environment in here tonight.
Yeah, I think this is probably one of my favorite places to take in a game in the entire state of Ohio, because all the reasons you just said. It's got that big-time feel to it. At the same time, it's not overwhelming in terms of the overall seating capacity, and the fans are right down on the floor behind you. I love how they have the student sections placed right behind your bench so they can be out there keeping the troops fired up as the Dogs have been announced, and they are out on the floor. And now it is time for the Eagles, and they definitely, even though Dalton's only about 16 miles away from here, It was the Eagles fans that were in here early, Hayden, and they were letting them hear it even when they were just doing stretching.
Absolutely, and I feel bad. I'm blanking on what do we call the front row gang?
Oh yeah,
they were here, of course, nice and early, as you know, and I don't know. I think they're down there, but
they wouldn't miss this one.
No, they're definitely in the
I
building.
see them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, now both sides have patted in a little bit. But like you mentioned, geographical advantage goes to Dalton tonight. We'll see if that plays into it all. I know we said they weren't out on the court as much. Maybe they can get a little workout in at their home gym. I don't know. But I'm just excited to see how both teams come out, because as we mentioned several times during the pregame, it's going to be harder than any of their other challenges during the postseason thus far, and it's not going to get any easier. The second game of the night, we all pretty much assume Richmond Heights will take care of Cornerstone Christian, to be seen, but there's a juggernaut waiting on the other side of this game.
But you got to take care of tonight to be able to get a shot at the Giant if that were to be the case and Richmond Heights, number one in the state, were to move on. So that'll wrap up our Baker's Pizza pregame as we are all set for tournament action, and the tip is won by Wenger. It's going to be Bulldog basketball here with their opening possession. And here's Wenger right away. Deep three, missed everything, came up well short.
And that was really deep. I mean, that's 3 or 4 feet behind the line. Depth perception going to be a little bit different tonight, so a quick feeler for Wenger.
And the Bulldogs look like they're going to come out and at least try to force the ball here out of Derek Horsley's hands, but he's able to come over and get it. Picked up here at midcourt by Brady Hignite. Now Holt looking inside. This is what the Eagles like to do. They bring Baker. He's going to try a deep three. His at least catches a piece of the iron, but that's short as well.
Both teams with deep shots to start things off, both in a man-to-man defense as well.
Steiner follow-away jumper. Nice.
It was a really good job to collect himself and really show balance and poise in the air. It's a tough fadeaway shot.
So 2-zip Bulldogs take the early lead. So they initiate the offense here down at the other end. Looking for Maddie inside. Lehman trying to body him up. Have not been able to get Jacob Maddie a touch just yet. As Horsley forced to pick up his bounce. Got a wide open Braxton Baker, but they're going to call a moving screen, and this is going to go against the Eagles.
It'll be the first foul of the night, so going against the Eagles, as you mentioned. And yeah, I mean, it was almost like you were waiting for that foul to be called. The Eagles having a hard time trying to break off of their defenders so far.
About 90 seconds into the action here. Bulldogs with their third possession, and it's going to be back-to-back buckets. This time the left-handed finish at the 10 for Steiner.
It's just a nice quick explosion for him. He had a nice first step and then never looked back, took it all the way to the rack.
Eagles move it around. Now looking to get it down to Baker on the block. Giving up a little bit of size normally as the shooting guard. Braxton at 6'5", towers over his opponents. Not tonight. See a big difference created there by the length of Wenger. Such a huge wingspan on him.
Yeah, at 6'7", I can't imagine what that wingspan amounts to. Going to make it difficult for Baker tonight.
Steiner surveys, calls for the on-ball screen delivered here by Feisler. Now gives it up. Good slip inside. And that jumper catches a piece of the back iron, fought for by Braxton, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds.
Good hustle play from Baker. He was kind of left alone down there. He was the only Eagle in the area and competed to get the rebound.
Quentin Lehman looked like he was doing one of the moving the sled drills there.
Yeah, they got some big guys. Tall, solidly built. So it's going to be a difficult night in the paint.
Horsley comes near side. Off the flex cut, tries to deliver it to Maddie. Eagles will keep it down on this end as Lehman, you got to give him credit for going down to the planks and trying to keep it alive.
Absolutely, and out there too playing with a brace on that knee. It's always a little bit difficult, flexibility, and so far he's shown a lot of athleticism tonight.
Horsley now looking to go to work, leaves off for Vogt. Braxton off the cut, little jump stop, and the Eagles on the board.
It's a good bucket for them to get things started. Just see it fall through the net. Doesn't have to be anything fancy or a deep triple.
That one comes up short from the elbow. Lehman, though, creating an extra possession off the offensive rebound. And the Dogs will look to reset. So get it back into the hands of their point guard, Jack. Haven't seen Wenger touch it since the first possession till there, and he delivers an excellent pass on the money. Quentin putting it through with the up and under. Pretty play.
Yeah, he showed a lot of athleticism as well. He's got a good amount of flexibility under there to twist it around the bucket like that.
And there he comes in, creating the thefts, sending it forward for Hignite. And he's got the transition too. 6-point cushion here for the Bulldogs. David Sheldon pulling the trigger on a timeout as he sees his Eagles fall behind here early on, midway through the first. And excellent start for Dalton as they've been really patient offensively. They've gotten some clean looks inside, and I like how they've been utilizing a myriad of different methods to try to attack this Eagles defense so far.
Yeah, a great explosion on that replay on a turnover from Hignite to get that bucket, force them to take a timeout, which I think was much needed for their mindset right now. What they're doing is they're breaking it down. Like you said, they're not playing a really like a one-faceted type of game. They're trying different things to try and throw out that defense for Colonel Crawford, make Coach Sheldon really have to think.
There's some of the Dalton faithful here in the building tonight. Doesn't look like there's really a theme in the student section.
No, doesn't look like there's much of a theme. Just try and get close to the school colors and show up. Hey.
Just make sure that you bring your screaming voice and your party shoes just in case we get it done. Vogt left all alone. And we saw pregame, Hayden, only 4 players have actually made 3-point field goals for Colonel Crawford all season.
Yeah, it doesn't appear that they're the most comfortable 3-point shooting team, unless, of course, it's Mr. Baker.
That's a comfortable shot, though, for Derek Horsley. Stepping into one, into the painted area, and that's where the Eagles have been at their best all season. They've got Grayson Lehman into the contest now, replacing brother Quentin. And that's just going to be tough to defend all night if Braylon Wenger is knocking those down.
Just a nice job of showing patience there again. They kind of size you up and then finds the position on the court that he likes, makes a tough fadeaway.
Holt from the elbow, threw it away. And look out, showtime for Wenger. Peanut butter jelly action right there.
6'7" guard showing the explosion and the vertical on that one.
Now Baker pokes away. The turnovers piling up now for the Eagles. They've got 4 already here in the opening frame and allowing an extra possession here for the Dogs, and Wenger not even close. But you see Dalton doing some excellent stuff here on the offensive glass, and Ethan Stutz this time with the rebound.
And that's a rebound prior to this play right there off that turnover that Colonel Crawford needed to have. They're giving Dalton another chance here to get second chance points off of a turnover, something they don't want to do, something I'm sure is driving Coach Sheldon nuts. So right now they got to find a way to, when you don't have the advantage in size, you can make up for that in effort, so they got to get more aggressive.
3 of the 4 Dalton rebounds so far have been offensive. No buckets here. Maddie with a nice block out.
Nice dribble move.
Active hands, though, getting in the passing lane for the Bulldogs. So Crawford forced out to midcourt. Now Horsley gets his shot blocked.
Right now, the Bulldogs just kind of seem like they're a step ahead. They wanted a little bit more of their energy.
That would have been a huge trifecta there for Steiner. Now here's Maddie from the elbow, turns and squares up. And that's the 3rd block shot already for the Bulldogs in this opening frame.
Yeah, it has not been fun in the paint tonight.
Splash right there, and another timeout for the Eagles. Wenger feeling it. And the student section getting hype.
And again, he really likes those deep threes. That's another one about 2.5, 3 feet from behind the line, and got the fans going crazy on both sides. One's really happy and one not so much.
Almost feels like Braylon, who's uncommitted at this point, but is a reasonably touted prospect in Northeast Ohio, trying to put on a little showcase here for some of those college coaches that might be watching or here in the building tonight, showcasing that he's got some definite long range, because he's pulled the trigger on 3 from about 30 feet, it seems.
Yeah, and you've got to imagine, you're right. I know that we've seen he's not committed anywhere, but this seems like one of those nights that I know they're pretty stealthy about it. You feel like there's got to be probably some coaches somewhere in the rafters tonight, especially with all 4 teams that are playing here tonight. So, yeah, he seems like he's come out and wants to make a statement early.
Certainly has been exactly that for Dalton. They're on top by 11. Just over 90 ticks remaining here in quarter number 1. Colonel Crawford, just the 2 field goals so far. They've had 3 shots blocked. They've given it away 6 times so far, and this is a team on the season. They just barely average over 10 per contest, so you would expect them to ease into the night here after taking the Bulldogs' best punch in the first quarter. We'll have to find out. They do get a clean look out of the timeout for Baker. That's a shot that he probably hits more often than not.
Yeah, that's tough. You're sure during that timeout they drew that up for him, trying to get some confidence going back for this offense, and it just bounced right out of the middle of the rim.
Steiner with nice hang time. Baker and his length coming over and creating some problems there. No finish. Now a chance for the Eagles. Try to get this back down to single digits. As Horsley off the screen, turns the corner, was looking for the kick out to Vogt.
Right now what they're running to do offensively has just been getting shut down. They're only able to take about 3-4 steps towards that elbow, and then the defense from the Bulldogs has been very tough.
Yeah, Wenger almost even beaten Braxton to the spot, and that's the second time that we've seen exactly that play right there. 4 blocks now for Dalton.
I don't think I've been at a game where I've seen about that many blocks in the first quarter with a team, you know. I'm even thinking off right at the top of my head, Lexington, a team, one of the few teams that has more height than this Dalton Bulldog team on the floor, and I don't know if I've even seen that from them in a game I've been at this year.
Crawford looking to go to work here as they check the clock down to 7 ticks. Horsley, a lot of space, and a foul. So we'll get a whistle on the play against Grayson Lehman. But man, he got a big chunk of that leather too.
Yeah, he's a little bit disappointed with that one, but hey, right now for this team, they're not in any form of foul trouble, and I think that kind of got their crowd even more juice. So if you're Dalton, one doesn't hurt as much, but these are must-make free throws heading to the second quarter for Colonel Crawford.
Short arms that time by Horsley, 67% on the season from this spot. Second one goes home there for Derek.
So the bad thing, 4.5 ticks left on the clock for the Bulldogs.
Steiner gives it up. Good if it goes from Baker. And that'll take us to the end of one. Great start for Dalton. They lead it by 10 as we move on to the second.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
Back here at the Canton Memorial Field House, excellent start for the Bulldogs of Dalton as they lead Colonel Crawford by 10, 15-5 with the second quarter just about ready to begin. I'm Brian Skowronski. Hayden Gray is joining me and talking for the brief 60-second break that we had right there. I mean, 4 blocks so far for Dalton, and most of them coming on 2 players that typically, Braxton Baker, he's 6'5", and he's got a guy who's like 6 foot or 6'1" on him. He's not accustomed to what he's dealing with so far, but Maddie's able to muscle one up and in there.
Yeah, the first quarter was summed up as, you know, a block party for the Bulldogs. Their offense looks spectacular as well, but their defense has been the storyline. We'll see what adjustments the Eagles make to kind of try and work their way around that here in a second.
Wenger with a nice leave off, but we're going to get a traveling violation as Lehman 3 steps there to control his body. Just the second turnover so far for the Dogs, 6 belonging to the Eagles. And we saw kind of a similar situation in the district championship against Lucas where Colonel Crawford uncharacteristically were giving away quite a bit at the beginning, and then they eased into the contest. So we'll see if it's similar here. Maddie, back-to-back buckets, plus looking for more as he's heading to the free throw line.
It's a perfect opportunity to get him involved and get his spirits and charisma, momentum back up into this game. You got to see, you know, when you're battling in the post, you got to have some buckets go along with the work or else it gets really taxing. So Maddie with a chance to cut this one back to 5.
Maddie's a 65% free throw shooter. Perfect on that attempt. So just like that, down to just a 5-point game as the Eagles chip away at this deficit. Steiner, quick acceleration. And now they'll get it to Wenger. Trevor Vogt on him. How about the fast hands? David Sheldon thought perhaps that went off of Braylon. Take a second look in our arrow counting replay.
Could see those fast twitch muscles that we see on the receiving side of things during football season from Vogt coming in handy right there.
Trailing the play though this time, and they're going to call him for a foul. Trevor must have caught the body there, and it's going to send Braylon to the free throw line for the first time here this evening.
I think what's getting the Eagles in trouble is how quick he comes off that screen and then gets into his shooting motion. We see a lot of that in professional basketball.
Braylon typically really solid at the charity stripe. 79%er so far on the season. Splashes the second.
Up to 8 of their 16 right now. Make it 9. So a third of his way to his season average so far.
Yeah, that kid's been awesome so far. Maddie's starting to turn up the juices too. But turned away yet again. Feisler this time. Everyone getting in on the block party tonight for the Dogs. Wenger got a little bit sloppy that time.
Yeah, ran into a whole, would it be flock of Eagles? 3 of them there, kind of all forcing that turnover.
And now Baker with a nice head fake. Wenger didn't completely bite. Now Braxton looks over to Coach Sheldon for the new direction of the offense. And it looks like this is where they can win. Getting it to Maddie at the high post. Excellent delivery on the money, and Holt puts it in.
Yeah, that was a good find, good court vision from Maddie.
Dogs get it to Wenger. Baker switches on him, and it looks like maybe trying to draw a double team. As Maddie picks it off, gets in the passing lane, and another and one for Jacob Maddie, his second here in the second quarter. This dude single-handedly kind of jump-starting the offense.
He's quite literally in the scoring column, gone from 0 to hero here in the second quarter. It's going to force the Bulldogs to take their first timeout.
So Jacob Maddie, a one-man wrecking crew. He's already got 7 points here in the second quarter. Chance to tack one on. And sometimes that's what you need from your senior studs, is to step up in the biggest moments. Me and Coach Baylog, we've talked about it quite a bit these last 2 or 3 weeks. Sometimes coaching doesn't really matter. Scheme's not that big a deal. As long as you got the guys that are out there that can get it done, that's ultimately what will push you over the finish line. And right now, Jacob Maddie taking matters into his own hands. Getting the Eagle cheering section up and on their feet. Well, not that they were ever sitting. It's not really their style.
Yeah. But you're right. So far, Jacob really stepping into that role. He's being the #1 scorer right now, but someone that can help alleviate that pressure from the guy they normally lean heavily on, Baker.
Braxton's just got 2 points so far in the contest. 8 now for Maddie. Nice pass over the top by Wenger. No shot, though, from Hignite. Oh, and now getting away, I think, with a bit of a push-off there was Braylon as Vogt hit the deck, but I saw him in the district championship. He likes to sell those calls a little bit. The referee was right there. I think that's kind of what he decided.
Yeah, and, you know, once you get to the tournament, they traditionally call things a little bit. Well, it depends. It kind of goes towards whatever kind of officiating crew you have for the night. But traditionally, it seems they like to let things play out a little bit more, so may not be able to get away with some of those that you are accustomed to getting with a little bit of acting, we'll say.
Up and under for Maddie as he went baseline. Just missed it. Jack comes in for the rebound. Now here is Steiner. A lot of ball screens for this Dalton offense. forcing the Eagles to make some decisions. But they get a tip here. Wenger with that length was able to go over the top of Vogt and keep the possession alive. Now here's the three-line drive. And the Eagles come away with it. Tracked down by Horsley.
Yeah, so far midway through the second quarter, the Bulldogs have been the ones a little bit sloppier with the ball. Shot selection not as clean.
Horsley contested that time by Hignite from the corner. Now Lehman lobs it in. Catching in traffic. Just fighting it up. Braylon inside. 2 shots, no points.
He had a really nice off-ball move with the ball not in his hands to get open, but couldn't finish. Really bothered there, about 1.5 feet from the rim.
Another 3. Misses its mark here for the Eagles. This time it's Vogt. Wenger tried to sneak it in. Got lucky that it went between the legs of Lehman. Set up that triple. And both offenses right now a little bit cold.
Probably right about where you want things to slow down a little bit maybe here on this possession. If you're Coach Sheldon, you can kind of see him letting them know, let's settle down here. Let's try and get a good look. Just a couple shots away from tying this one up.
Horsley inside. Maddie, 2 more points.
Give Maddie 8 points here in just the second quarter.
Dude has been fantastic. Wide open shooter. Brady left alone. Bottoms up.
First triple of the night from either team coming at 2 minutes.
Maddie had to pick up his bounce, kicks it back out to Braxton Baker, who's just been hounded by Wenger tonight. He has not been buying on any of the fakes that he's been making, so leave it to guys like Trevor Vogt to try to make up for some of that scoring. Back down to just a 2-point game.
It's a good aggressive take from Vogt. Didn't hesitate, didn't think twice about it that time, just took it straight to the hole.
Eagles switch out on the perimeter. Holt picking up down in the corner on Steiner, who overshot. So here comes Vogt on the hop. Jump stop. And an offensive foul. Wenger got to the spot first.
So that time the opposite. Vogt a little bit too fast. It looked like a clean take to draw the charge. He was there and planted, no movement.
So the Eagles now with 7 turnovers. That's their first, though, in this second. They've been playing clean. And definitely you can tell they've got it turned up on the defensive end right now, Hayden, and that's what's really helping with this comeback, because they were down double digits not that long ago. And I think really just the extra effort and intensity down here at the defensive end of the floor has really helped them claw back into this game.
Yeah, it's not really to discredit anyone else, but offensively it's really just been Jacob Maddie this quarter. But yeah, collectively as a team, they've been emphasizing more of not giving those open looks, not letting Wenger drive as easily as he's been able to, giving him a tougher time.
Approaching 1 minute to go here in the second quarter. Bulldogs just have 6 points here in the frame. And it looks like they almost gave it away. Nice read there by Horsley.
Again, nice second effort, too, from Maddie diving after that one.
Bring Steiner off the double screen down low. Can't get him the rock, so they bring it back up top. Hignite off the bounce. Battling inside, Maddie, wow. Called for a foul that gets Eagle Nation up on their feet in an uproar. Take a second look on the Arrow accounting replay.
Huh. Looks a little bit like initiated contact came on the side of the offensive party, but
looked like where the referee was standing, he didn't have the same vantage point that we did, being behind the play. Thought perhaps Maddie caught a chunk, and he might got a piece of the arm here. Definitely some of the elbow.
Right. I'm sure here in about 35 seconds, Coach Sheldon will get a replacement towel too, because this one has gone through the gauntlet in the first half.
Yeah, we've got one up here in the upper deck if David didn't come prepared, but my guess is Tournament David knows to have a whole briefcase full on the back end. That is one intense man come playoff season. And he's asking his team to hold for the final shot here before the half.
This will be a big one. They can make a choice. Either get this one bat down to 2 either way. Just going to be a one-possession game.
And I think that's the right choice with Horsley left all alone. Wenger off target, and we've got 2 quarters now in the books here at the Canton Memorial Field House. Great game going right now. Colonel Crawford inches back within a deuce, 23-21. We'll step aside. We will be back with your Baker's Pizza halftime report, stats, analysis, and more. You're watching live and free boys tournament hoops exclusively on the OH Report.
Hi, I'm OH Report founder Brian Skowronski, and you've just enjoyed first half action live and free exclusively right here on the OH Report. But stick around, still plenty more to come right here as our boys high school basketball returns after this.
It's just not right. Nah, I need to try something new.
Quit rap for a triangle?
I gotta do me, Missy.
No. It's ding, 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 not ding, 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 ding.
Jack Harlow did it again.
Ting, ting, ting.
Yes, that's it.
America has a case of triangle fever.
Everybody, we are sold out of triangles, but we still have cowbells.
The triangle has replaced the British pound.
Triangle by Harlow.
And Triangle Player of the Year goes to Elton John!
We toil. We sweat. We live. We breathe. We ache and cry and laugh and bleed. We dance. We play. We love. We nourish. We yearn and wish and hope and cherish. We mend, we heal, we repair, we sow, we plant and tend and gather and grow. We feed our families and the world's too. It's a calling, a feeling, real and true. We need no thanks, rewards, or dues. We love this land. It's what we do.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
Tonight's live stream broadcast has been brought to you thanks to the following sponsors. First Federal Community Bank. Banking locally just got a little easier. Old 30 Barbecue in Bucyrus. Stop in today for low and slow smoked meat and homemade sides. Baker's Pizza in Bucyrus. We are proud of our service to the community and even more proud to be the place to go after every local game or to watch your favorite team in action. Come join us today for a great meal and a great time with friends or family. Arrow Accounting, moving your community forward with Arrow Accounting. Contact Cara Barnes for services at the link in the description. Simonson Construction, LLC, from concept to completion, we can help you make a plan, refine your vision, and build a path for success. And Burkhart Farm Center, farmers serving farmers. Thank you to the following sponsors for bringing you tonight's action live and free. We'll be back in just a few moments to bring you your halftime stats.
We're back with your halftime show presented by Baker's Pizza of Bucyrus. And big shout out to Breck Baker for sponsoring Colonel Crawford all season long. Man, what a comeback by the Eagles. They were down 15-5 after that first quarter. Then they started getting it together there in quarter number 2, as we'll show you the stats from the first half presented by Baker's Pizza. I'm Brian Skowronski. Hayden Gray is joining me here tonight. And when you dissect these numbers, Hayden, what do you see that really stands out?
Well, taking a look at the turnovers, Colonel Crawford was on a really bad path there in the first quarter, and they really trimmed those down and forced the Bulldogs to cough over several of their own. Both teams just one missed free throw, so nothing too bad there. No one really in foul trouble, no notable players in foul trouble either. Normally, I'd be surprised to see a team hasn't knocked down a triple, but as we mentioned, Colonel Crawford, not something really that they lean on or try to do initially. So I think probably the most surprising stat to me has been the blocks from Dalton. I think it counted five of those bad boys. And Colonel Crawford has persevered through that. So now we've got another tight game just down to one possession.
And there's no question about it. In that second quarter, the dude that was getting it done for Colonel Crawford to help kind of spark and drive that 18-point quarter that they had there was Jacob Maddie. That senior was outstanding. The dude put up all 10 of his points in the frame, Hayden, and we were talking before they came back out here that, you know, it took a lot of guts, I think, for him to go back down low. He had 2 shots blocked almost right away, which is uncharacteristic for him. And since that point, he's been perfect from the field, except I guess he had the one up and under shot that he missed.
Yeah, it's really impressive because at the high school level, it's not that these can't be great, so mentally strong guys either, but it's tough. I mean, you're here in a tournament, and when you're getting physically worn down like that, it can be easy to shut down mentally, and we've seen him persevere through that and, you know, just play his usual confident game. So big props to him for being able to do that.
And his running mate that usually we've seen in the tournament so far, Braxton Baker, he's putting up 26 points per game in 3 playoff competitions so far. But number 5 right there held to just 2 points, and he also has had his shot blocked twice down in the post. So he certainly has not had a matchup quite like what he's endured tonight with Braylon Wenger on him, 6'7", the long wingspan, and Braxton, a kid that we've seen he's got more of an NBA style of game. He can 3-and-D, but then also he can turn his back to the basket. No success with that here tonight so far, just because he's given up a lot of size, definitely some strength on the inside.
Yeah, every once in a while, too, that can be something that kind of you're not happy about in a tournament when you haven't had too much. Other than the Lucas Cubs for Colonel Crawford, they haven't seen anyone that really matches up well against them. So they've had a little bit of time off from having to work up against some tougher opponents.
And speaking of Braylon Wenger over there on the Dalton sideline, an All-Ohio selection from a season ago. He's been putting up almost 26 points per game. He's got 9 so far tonight, but credit the Eagles. I believe 7 of those came in the opening frame, and you were like, man, this could just be one of those nights for this senior. He's trying to shoot it from deep. He was able to have a couple of nice drives, but they turned him over twice in that second quarter and really limited him just 2 points.
Yeah, they did a nice job against a guy who, you know, some people are saying he was the player of the year in their conference, and some people making the argument that he could be the Division IV player of the year. So they did a nice job of kind of slowing him down and making him realize that what he was doing in the first wasn't going to work as easy against them. So I'll be interested to see how Braylon comes out in the second half and tries to kind of reorganize his game to attack them in a way that works for him.
You know what works for me always? Hearing from the fans here on the OH Report. We love to drop your comment bombs right there on our fan zone, so make sure that you are chiming in. Tell me where you're watching from tonight, and if you shout us out, we will shout you out. Anything that you want to tell us about the game, we'll put it on our fan zone, so be a part of the broadcast tonight. Nice head fake, stepping in. Here's a 3, coming up short, though. First shot for Jack Steiner and the Bulldogs at quarter number 3.
I like the confidence from Steiner. He's been playing really strong tonight, too. You can tell he doesn't flinch a lot. He kind of likes to go at one speed. Just a tough shot to miss there to start the quarter.
Oh, Vogt, probably one that he puts away more often than not. Steiner was lurking, might have made it tough on him, but you like the look from Maddie. Pull-up jumper, splash right there, nothing but net from Hignite.
Bulldogs will get the first points.
So they're on top 25-21 on our first Federal Credit Union scoreboard, or Community Bank rather, excuse me. Trevor turns and squares up. They got Baker coming off the screen. You see Wenger going over the top of it. Now Jacob turns baseline. They're not throwing a double, and he capitalizes. Went right at Lehman and one.
That was a great double move from Maddie. He knows how to work it down there in the paint to create some space, which is very tough to do.
But he'll come right back the other way, 2 of his own. 4 points now in the contest for Quentin Lehman. He's got 2 fouls. The only other player out on the floor so far that has any kind of foul trouble is Trevor Vogt. He's got 3. Here's Wenger, tried to go around Baker. Little contact, no whistle. Horsley drawing a crowd. Back inside to Maddie.
And again, we're seeing him with Lehman. They're going to be matched up. Force him to pick up his dribble.
First clean look from outside for Baker, and he comes through. 1 point game.
It's a good sign for Eagle fans.
And that's an even better side as they turn over the Bulldogs back at the other end.
It's a tight space to navigate right there, and then especially trying to whip over a one-handed pass. Nice job by Colonel Crawford, putting him in a tough spot.
Fresh look here for the Bulldogs as they have Wenger up top of a 1-2-2 zone, but this can bust your zone. 2 pumps up that time on the heat check for Braxton. Turnaround. Good for Steiner.
It's a great way to come back down and respond after the Eagle 3. And that second shot there on the last possession from Baker. We have not seen many three-point attempts look too clean from this end rather than the one that he made just a few moments ago.
And that's been the only make so far for CC tonight from beyond the arc. Baker is their specialist, the only player to make more than 30 trifectas on the season, which is unusual for a team in 2023.
Absolutely.
Maddie just lowered his shoulder, decided he was going to put it up no matter what. Just a little bit long, the rebound to Wenger. They leave Quentin unmarked. Hops off the rim. Reach and foul whistled here on Hignite. Be the first on either side here, 3.5 minutes in third quarter play.
Yeah, came up from behind right there, trying to get a hand on it, and that's one of those tough ones. If you're able to get it, it's great. Baker was just moving a little bit too fast, so he caught more of the backside of his arm rather than going for the ball.
Just the first foul on Brady tonight. Eagles with some excellent ball movement, and now it's going to be the second foul here on the Dogs in about 5 seconds, and it's going to put the Eagles' best foul shooter on the line, Braxton Baker, 81%er.
It's kind of the first time tonight that I've seen Colonel Crawford be comfortable and able to move the ball with no dribbling, with 2 passes from midcourt all the way to inside to Baker.
Braxton to pull CC back within a point. And he swishes 2 in a row there. Eagles have not led at all tonight. It's been the Bulldogs in front all the way. And they'll try to extend it to a 2-possession lead. They will. Brady Hignite grabbing a receipt with the cash.
Seeing that shot utilized a little bit more by both teams here, just a few of them, but still in the first half, other than a few deep ones from Baker and Wenger, we didn't really see many three-point attempts.
Crawford trying to get into a half-court set, but they're having some problems. Looked like a little bit of confusion on the baseline. Who was supposed to go where? Now Baker with a back pick, pops out. They've run this play so effectively all season long. Either ends up with an open look at 3, or you know Braxton can drive as well, so he's added a lot to his game here in his senior season. And we always know when he goes to the free throw line, you can count on this kid.
Yeah, he's pretty much one of those guys that I would give the Mr. Consistent award to for free throws, and that is such. And I'm just glad I didn't announce or jinx him there. I was just already pre-planning my apology. But those are one of those guys you like to have during the postseason, because it makes it very hard when a team, say they're in a situation where they got to foul someone and they want to avoid you. It's a extra thing that you make your opponent have to think about.
So Braxton's now 4 for 4 from the charity stripe. The Eagles as a team are 7 of 8. Wenger off the hesitation. He's had a couple of bad decisions made on that exact play, and it results in another giveaway. So those are starting to even out a little bit. Crawford's got 8-6 now for Dalton. And we're going to get our second reach in here on Brady Hignite in the third. And the foul situation now is 4 for the Dogs and none for CC.
Yeah, second foul on Hignite. So whatever he's trying to do, he's trying to get some quick steals, get a quick hand in there. That has not been working, much like that play that you kind of described. They've tried running that a few times, and it's usually resulted in a turnover the last few times they've ran it. The communication in passing lane just hasn't been there.
Here's Baker looking inside to Matty. A couple of jab fakes. Now he's starting to get real aggressive. Left hand, pretty kiss off the glass.
Baker's really waking up in this third quarter. His aggressiveness has gone up from the first half.
And our first tie since 0-0. Baker reaches out of bounds to collect.
Now the Eagles looking for their first lead of the night.
Braxton draws a double team. Skip pass here, Trevor Vogt. Baker in behind him. Vogt thrown to the ground by Wenger. Meanwhile, Braxton, the turnaround J, and for the first time, it's the Eagles with the higher score.
Let's see how they play with this lead. You know they're very excited to have it. That's a big burden lifted off your shoulders after the way you started the game.
Zip pass, Brady, a little bit too much on that one, and Braxton, his second rebound in as many possessions. So the Eagles doing a much better job here in the second half of keeping the Dogs off the offensive glass. Braxton just lost the handle that time. I think he was going to try to pull up and put one from the foul line.
Bulldogs had someone wide open in the paint. Weren't able to find him.
Yeah, it was Feisler on the backside. He was doing jumping jacks.
I don't know how it's got to be hard to miss that majestical hair. I was talking about that during the pregame, rocking the curly mullet. But
yeah, it's going to be a great look in the summertime. Lehman collects his own miss, and he'll finish it off as Dalton wants a TO, as they've got things back to even at 34 each. And a second look inside there at the last bucket. So excellent game for you folks here tonight. All square. Just 9 minutes, 18 seconds of regulation remaining. I see a lot of comments coming through right now in the fan zone. So keep them coming, guys. We'll read these things too. We see Tara cheering on the Eagles tonight. Even threw out the eagle emoji. Mindy, go Eagles, with 3 exclamation points. So you know that she means business. Connie, just a standard go Eagles, no exclamation points. But still probably equally as excited, I would presume. Just a lot of people with that exact expression. A lot of go Eagles out there in the fan chat tonight. Certainly a few Dalton fans as well enjoying the live and free action. This is your first time taking in an OH Report broadcast. Welcome, glad to have you aboard.
It's been a pretty successful year for the Dalton Bulldogs. Girls making it to the regional semifinal again this year, and they were up for most of the ball game against the eventual regional champion Springfield, and then the boys here in the regional semifinal as well. So successful year for Bulldog basketball.
See what the Eagles draw up out of the timeout. Try to get the lob backdoor to Baker. Off the tip, Vogt. A little out of control, but he sets up Braxton. Whew, just rimmed out on him.
One kind of pinballed, ricocheted around the middle of the rim, then eventually rolled out.
Braylon on the pull-up. Dogs back in front.
Big response. He's been a little bit quiet here ever since the end of that first quarter, so getting his presence reestablished in the game.
Pushes his point total up to 14 so far on the night. Tops in the contest for now. Baker's really come alive. He's got 13. 11 of those coming here in the third.
We really like to see the Eagles hold on to these, and so far the Bulldogs tonight have allowed them to and really tried to lock down defensively. Sure, we're going to see the same.
Horsley knifing his way, gets the shot block. Maddie there got his back, tipped up, and that's good. So Colonel Crawford trims it down to 37-36 as we are moving on to money time.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
Hayden Gray, will you kindly tell the folks at home what time it is?
Well, if it's the fourth quarter and there's 8 minutes and the folks are jumping around, that must mean it is money time.
Yeah, baby, that's right. Just 1 quarter of action remaining. The winner will move on to the Elite Eight. The loser packing their bags and heading home for good this season. So plenty at stake here. And it's going to be Colonel Crawford with the ball first as they trail by 1 after being behind double digits in the opening frame. I'm Brian. Hayden Gray is with me here tonight in one of the best venues in all of Ohio, the Canton Memorial Field House. Just so much tradition. 1 million games have been played in here, and the Bulldogs, the winningest team in the history of the state of Ohio. So there's just a lot going on in here.
Absolutely, and you know they want to continue to add to that win total. Tonight, the other Bulldogs playing in the home court of the other Bulldogs.
That's right. They're going to run Steiner down the baseline off a couple screens. Didn't like the view. Work it back the other way now here with Hignite. Brady off the kick out. And Stutz with a beautiful leave off. Lehman putting it home.
While there's been a few patches of inconsistency so far, the interior play from Dalton has been consistent all night long, whether it's been on the offensive or defensive side.
Grayson's got 6 points tonight. That doubles his season average of 3.6. Oh, clean look. Braxton Baker, you can count on it.
The second half has been his half so far. He's felt really confident in his shot.
Baker now with 14 points in the second half, and we're just getting the fourth started. And that's going to be, I believe, just the second foul against Colonel Crawford here in half number 2.
And that's big because when you're already kind of in a situation, in a scenario that's going to make you get taken out of your comfort zone, you definitely don't want someone having to sit on the bench in foul trouble. So far, neither team having to indulge that feeling tonight.
Wenger catches a big chunk of the back iron, but it comes out long rebound to Ethan Stutz. So the Dogs looking to reset here. Ethan calls for Steiner to come and grab it. Two-man game with Wenger, rolls, and look at all the white jerseys there to meet him in the lane. But he's not shy ever. Woo. Rims it out. And a nasty collision there sends Jack to his back. One more look on the Arrow accounting replay.
Yeah, they met going for that rebound.
It's going to be just the first, though, on Braxton Baker, so nobody's really in foul trouble. We've got both Vogt and Holt with 3 fouls each. That's it. Oh, what a delivery on time. Steiner with an excellent cut.
Yeah, they caught the Eagles sleeping that time, no doubt about it. Those inbound plays, you cannot get caught lacking because the minute your eyes aren't looking where they should be, they can get you just like that quick.
Maddie looking for a supreme position. Tipped away, though. Grayson Lehman battling down on the block. He's going to be replaced by Quentin. So the Lehman brothers putting in some big work down low tonight. Two-man game here, Horsley and Maddie. Well defended by Dalton. And Jacob hasn't really been looking for a shot here in the second half yet. He will this time, though. Nice footwork. Baker skies in, offensive rebounds, and he's ripped down to the floor. That's going to be team foul number 5 on the Bulldogs, and Ethan Stutz just picked up his first.
Yeah, and they kind of flipped the script right there. Kind of caught Dalton showing a little bit of, falling asleep a little bit under the rim. They had 3 Bulldogs there, and Baker comes storming in. Gets them in one step closer to the bonus on the free throw line as well.
Maddie with the screen. Vogt has to pick up his dribble.
Everyone kind of over on one side.
Oh, Maddie, nice fake. Ooh. And he's able just to power through for the bucket. Back to square.
Nice job by him to kind of play the maestro on that play, direct everyone, and then gets inside for the bucket himself.
Little runner off of one leg there for Jack. Pushes him into double figures on the night. So the seniors, the ones stepping up here in fourth quarter action.
It's going to be really entertaining down the stretch to watch when Baker and Wenger are matched up.
Nice kick out, Horsley. Catch and shoot! Nothing but nylon from downtown.
And they may not do it a lot, but they're doing it at the right moments tonight. They've chosen the right time to incorporate that three-point game.
So the Dogs fall behind here by a point. So they bring Stutz off the screen, lays it off for Quentin. What a dime. And how about Hignite slashing to the open spot on the floor.
Great cut by Hignite. He kind of snuck away and then boom, chose to attack right at the moment for the lay-in.
Seesaw battle going now. Back and forth we go. Now Maddie turning, tried to force it over the top of the defense, deflected a couple times. Eagles able to get back, not allow a quick leak out there by Hignite and company. Backside, Lehman with the body control.
Absolute display of athleticism on that layup right there. That's about as nice as you can make a layup look. That isn't a dunk, and he pulled it off well.
Foul on the floor.
Down inside, I believe. Kind of away from the ball.
And it's going to be the last foul to give if you're the Dalton Bulldogs. Goes down as the third on Quentin Lehman. He's played well, 6 points tonight. Got a couple of blocks as well on the interior.
Yeah, with 3 minutes left of action, nothing to worry about too much, but they'll have to remember that down the stretch.
Offensive foul heading back the other way as Steiner able to beat Baker to the punch. And Braxton, he definitely thought he had an and one opportunity there.
And those are the tough moments. Baker not happy with the call, but these are those moments you got to keep your composure. You definitely don't want any kind of technical or anything coming along with that. You just got to go right back down to the other end. But a big one, obviously down 3 points.
Getting down to crunch time here. Fall away. Wow. Big shot from Jack Steiner. Kid starting to feel it here as he's got a dozen. Doing it at the defensive end and coming down here on offense. Double team, don't care. Buckets.
Absolutely. He's got the fans going wild in the upper deck. Making all the Bulldogs fans that traveled up here nice and proud.
Just want to say what's up to Becky. She's sitting at Northmore waiting for her daughter to get done with softball practice, and she just said, thank goodness for live and free reporting. Hoping the Eagles can pull out a W. So how about the love over there in Crawford County? Technically they're in Morrow.
Yeah,
but
close.
You know, just wanting to see their brethren, their neighbors come through, do some big things. And that's something that I got to talk to Coach Baylog about. During the tournament, I think it's so cool. The deeper that you get in, the more teams that you either A, knock off, or B, from your conference, or even C, or just from around your area, they'll start jumping on your bandwagon. You'll see some of the athletes out of games representing, certainly watching on the live streams. They'll be commenting on all of the Instagram and the Twitter posts. So it's just really neat how big the community becomes the deeper you get into the tournament. You want to know why, Hayden? Because everybody loves a winner.
Absolutely. It is fun to watch that. You know, it happens every year, but you look forward to it. You know, there's nothing more special than once you get to that point where even heated rivals. Now, I'm sure there's some rivalries throughout the area that we know that would promise till the day they die they wouldn't root for someone. But secretly deep down, we know. You want to say, hey, those state champions, I played against that kid. So fun to see that here.
It's a key possession for Colonel Crawford as we're starting to get into the championship moments. Baker with the hesitation. Wenger sticking with him. Now it's Horsley's turn. Maddie lost the handle, able to reestablish.
Good job by Horsley, bringing it down, kind of a risky pass.
Vogt was a big-time player in the district championship game, and he's going to be heading to the free throw line, looking for his 3rd and 4th points of the night. Dalton fans not real appreciative of the call.
Vogt did have a big part of that game against the Cubs to help get the Eagles here tonight. So although he has not been one of their leading scorers, still been another guy that's been getting it done, big shots coming.
Sauce is the first 60% on the season from the free throw line. Can make it a 1-score game with this next one, as we're already sub 2 minutes to go here. Clutch free throws there from the junior. And now the Eagles coming out with a new look.
Going to kind of try and create some chaos here, bring a little bit of pressure.
And Vogt
Ooh.
almost threw it off a Bulldog, and they're going to chuck it away. We'll see if we get a change call here. I mean, you see how demonstrative the coaching staff is over on the Dalton sideline.
They're wondering if that ball changed directions. Does it go off of Horsley or not?
So it'll go down as a Bulldog turnover. And the Eagles with a chance here to tie or pull within 1.
We'll see where they look, if they want to try and go for the 3 points right now or just chip away.
They got a one-on-one. Maddie attacks middle, rolls around off the rim. Big rebound there, secured by Jack.
Something of notice too, Colonel Crawford's going to have to do some work to get this one to free throws. Just their 14th foul.
Something that was identified by Coach Sheldon, says, come out, let's get one immediately. So the Eagles will obviously go for the steal here. Nearly got one. And now Coach Sheldon asking his team to start putting some fouls on the board. They've got 2 more to give.
Yeah, they want them to foul and foul as quick as possible. They want to make Dalton go to the line and make these free throws, which we've seen even the best of free throw shooters fold a little bit when the pressure's on.
So best case scenario, Derek Horsley has not picked up a foul yet. That's going to be the 4th on Baker, so you don't love that.
Not with 56 seconds left. That's not what, I don't think anybody wanted that on the Colonel Crawford bench.
And now Coach Sheldon's going to make a quick adjustment with Ryan McMichael checking in for Braxton on the defensive end. So probably see a offensive-defensive substitution and switch. Or actually, looked like they changed their mind and Trevor Vogt's going to jump out. Or maybe Braxton made a little adjustment and just said, hey, I'm staying on. And that'll be the first on Horsley, but team foul number 7. So here comes Brady Hignite, the sophomore. And you got to be really thrilled if you're Coach Sheldon and company, getting an underclassman on the line, just 54%er on the regular season.
Absolutely. These are the moments that get the best of you, whether, these moments don't discriminate whether you're a senior or a freshman or a sophomore or a junior. The pressure is the same for everyone.
Back iron tipped.
Wow.
Finally taken home there by Jacob Maddie. Horsley spinning inside, tried to sneak it through to Jacob, poked out. Wenger on the run. He's on the deck though.
And they wanted the triple there, you can tell.
Now they'll get it. Baker cannot connect. And they'll put Wenger on the line for a 1-and-1.
That one had a chance. Looked like it had a chance at falling, but just bounces off that back left iron.
A clean opportunity for the Eagles' premier sharpshooter, Braxton Baker. 35% on the year from downtown. But both he and Maddie have been stuck on 16 points for a while, but they get another crucial miss, so the door wide open. Don't have to go for a three here if you're the Eagles.
No, you can definitely go get a quick two, but they're going to turn it over.
Worst case scenario if you're a CC fan. Ignite shot blocked. Baker fouling out. So Braxton Baker's night is through.
Wow.
And 2 free throws coming up here. This looked pretty clean.
Here's the thing, too. You know, from the lens of someone from Colonel Crawford that might be here or watching tonight, as much as that stinks that Baker's going to check out, you got to commend him here. He knows what he was like in the foul situation, but he still knows for the betterment of the team, he's got to go try and hawk this down and block it, make them go to the line where they have missed their last 2. But absolutely, he's the guy you want to look to make that three-pointer.
So Brady will get a pair. That's the key here. Don't have to knock down the first to earn the second. Missed his last attempt, but not this time. And I think sometimes it's so much less pressure if you know that you're guaranteed those 2 free throws.
I think so. There's a lot that goes into it because you're thinking the whole time on a one-on-one, if I miss this, everything's wide open. But at least here, you're right. You've got a chance to at least walk away with 1, knowing it can't be taken from you, that you're going to get those 2 attempts.
2 big free throws from the sophomore. And the clock becoming a big problem now for the Eagles. Down to 6 seconds. Got to get one up. Vogt does on the run. And that's going to be out of bounds to the Bulldogs. Their student section jumping around. They believe that they have won, and in 1.4 seconds, that will be the case. The Dalton Bulldogs making some history, folks, as they are moving on to the regional championship. Dalton is elite.
What a great game. 2 tough teams that it came right down to the wire. What looked like might be a runaway for the Bulldogs came down to be another classic game played inside the walls of this gym.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will have your post-game show presented by Baker's Pizza with stats analysis, including an interview with our Old 30 Barbecue player of the game. So drop us some comments. Let us know who you'd like to hear from on the other side, and we'll be back with all that and more.
It's just not right. Nah, I need to try something new.
You gonna quit rap for a triangle?
I gotta do me, Missy.
No, no, no. It's ding, 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 ding. Not ding, 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 ding.
Jack Harlow did it again.
Ting, ting, ting.
Yes, yes, yes! Yes, that's it.
America has a case of triangle fever.
Everybody, we are sold out of triangles, but we still have cowbells.
The triangle has replaced the British pound.
Triangle by Harlow.
And Triangle Player of the Year goes to Elton John!
We toil. We sweat. We live. We breathe. We ache and cry and laugh and bleed. We dance. We play. We love. We nourish. We yearn and wish and hope and cherish. We mend. We heal. We repair. We sow. We plant and tend and gather and grow. We feed our families and the world's too. It's a calling, a feeling, real and true. We need no thanks, rewards, or dues. We love this land. It's what we do.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
Tonight's broadcast was brought to you thanks to these generous sponsors. First Federal Community Bank. Banking locally just got a little easier. Old 30 Barbecue in Bucyrus. Stop in today for low and slow smoked meat and homemade sides. Baker's Pizza in Bucyrus. We are proud of our service to the community and even more proud to be the place to go after every local game or to watch your favorite team in action. Come join us today for a great meal and a great time with friends or family at Baker's Pizza. Arrow Accounting, moving your community forward with Arrow Accounting Company. Contact Cara Barnes for services at the link in the description. Simonson Construction, LLC. From concept to completion, we can help you make a plan, refine your vision, and build a path for success. In the Burkhart Farm Center, farmers serving farmers. Again, tonight's sponsors, Burkhart Farm Center, Simonson Construction, Arrow Accounting, Baker's Pizza, Old 30 Barbecue, and First Federal Community Bank. Stick around, though. We'll have our final stats and MVP interview brought to you by Old 30 Barbecue in Bucyrus coming up in just a few moments.
just not right. Nah, I need to try something new.
You gonna quit rap for a triangle?
I gotta do me, Missy.
No, no, no. It's ding, 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 ding. Not ding, 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 ding.
Jack Harlow did it again.
Ting, ting, ting.
Yes, yes, yes! Yes, that's it.
America has a case of triangle fever.
Everybody, we are sold out of triangles, but we still have cowbells?
The triangle has replaced the British pound.
Triangle by Harlow.
And Triangle Player of the Year goes to Elton John!
We toil. We sweat. We live. We breathe. We ache and cry and laugh and bleed. We dance. We play. We love. We nourish. We yearn and wish and hope and cherish. We mend, we heal, we repair, we sow, we plant and tend and gather and grow. We feed our families and the world's too. It's a calling, a feeling, real and true. We need no thanks, rewards, or dues. We love this land. It's what we do.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
We are back now with our old Route 30 barbecue player of the game. Co-players tonight, one of the senior studs, Jacob Maddie, is joining me right now. And I know that these are, private, cherished conversations that you'll remember, but what was some of the talk in the locker room just now after the defeat?
I mean, just talking right now, I can't be too mad about this because we had doubters in our own school saying that they don't think we're going to make it this far. And we proved a lot of people wrong making it this far. I mean, it's always going to be sad, playing my last high school basketball game. But it was about all the doubters that we had to go play against this year.
You certainly stepped up to the occasion, definitely in that second quarter. If you could take me back there and what you remember, you had almost all the points there in the quarter for your team to help get them back in the contest.
Yeah, first quarter again, I was just kind of feeling it out. They had some big boys in there, and I just had to figure out what way I could get around them. And I started figuring that out and getting them off their feet, getting the 2-and-1s in that second quarter.
Like you said, though, to get back on the stage in a regional, obviously you're going to have plenty of memories to look back on. How special was this team in the run that you just had?
I mean, you look last year, it was kind of expected out of them. And what made it special this year, like I said, was that nobody thought we were going to make it. We didn't have the Mason Studer or Carter Valentine. It was me and Baker and Horsley had to step up from the players from last year. So it was just fun having our own team this year.
All right, man, any shout-outs that you want to give to Eagle Nation watching back home? A big viewing audience tonight.
I mean, that's the whole Crawford Nation. They come out to every game, even when he had the 3-game losing stretch. They came out to every game and supported us. So I'm grateful to play for all of them.
All right, hey, thanks so much, man. It was a privilege watching you develop throughout your senior season. Jacob Maddie, one of our co-MVPs. And it looks like we got Braxton Baker. He's going to be joining us now, too. Braxton, I mean, it always sucks any time that you lose, but I think you guys got to be really proud of the way that you battled back here tonight. So tell me about that, getting down early and then having the guts to fight back, and you guys took the lead on multiple occasions.
Yeah, we definitely got out to a slow start. We just weren't getting stops at the beginning, giving out offensive rebounds, and then towards the end of the first quarter and once the second quarter started, we picked it up a little bit, and we didn't give up as many offensive rebounds and started getting stops, which led to scores on the end. And we were right there. We had multiple chances. Some calls didn't go our way, but that's part of the game. It's always going to be like that. So, we were right there. We just didn't get it done.
Take me inside the game plan and your mindset to come out in the third quarter, because you had just 2 points in the first half, and I think you had 11 there in the third.
Yeah. The guy that was guarding me was a lot taller than me, so I took some bad shots at the beginning of the game where I was just trying to shoot it over him, which I couldn't really do. So I knew in the second half I had to pump fake or just make a quick move so he wasn't able to block my shot. So I feel like I did a better job in the second half at that.
I thought Jacob did a really good job of expressing to me kind of what this season means, and there was a lot of doubters. You guys had the 2 All-Ohioans graduate, so to be back on this stage, playing in the Canton Field House, what does this mean to you to be back in the Sweet 16 again?
It means, a lot of hard work has paid off. Like Jacob was saying, we probably a lot of people didn't think we'd get to this opportunity, so to have another experience like this, playing in front of this crowd in this awesome gym, it means a lot. It means a lot that everyone bought into the roles, and it was overall a great season.
Well, congrats on another phenomenal campaign. Anybody that you want to throw some love to, go ahead.
Just shout out to my family and my teammates and coaches and all of our fans that come to every game and watch every game if they're not there.
Well, thanks for giving me the time, man, and I got to tell you that I think it's really spectacular, the leader that you've become this season, growing into a star basketball player as well. Congrats on an awesome season.
Thanks for everything you guys do.
Absolutely, my pleasure. All right, that's our old Route 30 barbecue MVPs, Jacob Maddie and Braxton Baker. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back to wrap things up from the Memorial Fieldhouse.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
Welcome back to Canton Memorial Field House here in our post-game show, brought to you tonight by Baker's Pizza in Bucyrus. Hayden Gray back with you. You just heard from Jacob Maddie and Braxton Baker, our players of the game. Now let's take a look at our final stats of the game, brought to you again by Baker's Pizza. We'll begin with Colonel Crawford. They knocked down 14 field goals, 3 triples, 16 rebounds, 12 turnovers, 15 and shot 90% from the free throw line, 9 of 10. On the victorious side for Dalton, 18 field goals, 3 from behind the three-point line, 17 rebounds, 7 turnovers, 11 fouls, and 6 of 9 from the free throw line. So the Dalton Bulldogs will be advancing here to the Division IV Regional Championship game, and they'll be taking on the winner of Cornerstone Christian Academy in Richmond Heights. The Spartans obviously regarded as the top dog here in Division IV, so we'll see if they're able to get it done. Obviously, once you get to the postseason, anything can happen, so they'll be taking on a very good Cornerstone Christian Academy team. The winner of this game will meet up with Dalton, and that'll be back up here at the Memorial Fieldhouse with a chance to go down to the state Final Four in Dayton. But that is it for your final stats. Brian, any of these numbers particularly stand out to you as to why the Bulldogs were able to successfully hold off that resurgence from the Eagles?
Well, anytime you can win the turnover battle, especially by a 5 differential, that's huge. And then also when you've got the upper hand in the rebounding game, those come in big time by the end of the night. So for Colonel Crawford, give a lot of credit. They turned it over a bunch in the first quarter, and I thought Braxton and Jacob both put it out there pretty well for us. They were going up against some lanky guys, and Wenger especially, he just made it difficult on them, and they had to figure out throughout the course of the night, how do we attack a dude that's this athletic with this wingspan, 6'7", just towering over me? What do I do? And they did figure it out. They combined for 32 points tonight, so I think you do have to give a lot of credit to David Sheldon, his coaching staff, who's one of the best in the business, and certainly the players when you're out there on the floor. It's one thing to be able to tell, hey, let's go and try to execute this style, but to be able to go out there and actually do it, I think you definitely got to give a lot of love to Colonel Crawford. But for Dalton, hey, man, this is a team that's moving on to the Elite Eight, and credit where it's due. They got out to that lead, a big lead, double digits in the first quarter, and I think ultimately that's kind of the difference in the game, that they came out fired up and figuring things on the fly, getting out on the run, scoring in some transition buckets, some easy ones early, and Colonel Crawford, while they were able to dig themselves out of the hole, they just weren't able to cap it off in the end. So for the Bulldogs, a big congratulations to them for, making a little piece of history. Haven't been this deep in, 20-plus years, and not even sure how long it's been since they've been to the Elite Eight, but at least equally as long. So a big congratulations to the WCAL champs and their fan base for marching on into the championship game.
Yeah, and I guess quickly before we go, what you saw from Dalton tonight, do you think it's a team? I know we haven't really got to see either of the teams that are going to be squaring off here next play, but just based off what you know, and especially if Richmond Heights is able to make it on, do you think the Bulldogs got what it takes to possibly take down who everyone expects to get down to Dayton and ultimately be the Division IV champion?
Well, I was just joking a little bit with Braxton at the commercial break and his father about the fact that, hey, it really sucks that you lose, but at least you don't have to go play those bad boys coming up on Friday, because, anything can happen. You definitely you don't want to count anything out. However, just if you were putting odds on Richmond Heights to advance out of this regional, it's definitely way heavily shaded in their favor. So this is the team that's undefeated, #1 in the state. Not only that, they've gone on the road to places like St. Edwards and won. So this isn't the squad that's a paper champion in terms of the AP poll. This is a real deep, talented squad that added 2 pieces transfers that weren't on the team from a season ago that was really good. So we'll find out. We're going to see a little piece of this game coming up here in a little bit. And Cornerstone Christian was considered probably the second best team here at this region. So if they just saw blade through them, it could be a tough challenge, of course, for the Bulldogs. It's going to be no matter what. But it's certainly Richmond Heights is the team that everybody has their eye on in Division IV, and certainly are expected to be the state champions by the end of the whole tournament.
That's for sure. So I don't have too much left.
So let's go ahead and just close it up there. That'll wrap up our coverage here tonight as the winner moving on to take on Cornerstone Christian or Richmond Heights. Victor, Colonel Crawford wrapping up their season as Maddie and Braxton Baker. Good performances by them, and each of them stepped up at different times tonight. Maddie, of course, owned the second quarter. Braxton owned the third, and then in the fourth, they were so close. They were on the cusp, but sometimes just not knocking down a clutch shot at the right moment will cost you. I think that's ultimately what we'll remember about this particular game in crunch time in the fourth quarter, is that the Eagles had a couple chances to knot things up and or take the lead late, Hayden, and sometimes, it just doesn't drop, and you can't always be the hero. So great season for Colonel Crawford.
Absolutely.
It was awesome to see how the team's kind of blossomed this year with graduating 2 phenomenal stud athletes, and then who's the next man up? Well, it's those 2 that are listed on your screen, and I really think that they became stars by the end of the season.
They did, and both such well-spoken guys. Can't speak highly of them enough. It's always difficult to speak after a loss, and something that you see during a tournament, which you don't always see during the regular season on the OH Report with our players of the game, is talking to some of these guys from the communities we cover, even after a loss. More often than not, they're excited to do it and still talk, and so I give a big shout out of respect to any of the athletes that we've talked to after a hard loss. I know we talked about our own hard losses a while back, just messing around at the studio, but it's not easy to do, and it takes some time to get over. But big credit to them, big credit to the Crawford community for supporting us and coming out and supporting their team today.
Yeah, what a fan base, Eagle Nation. So thanks for being with us throughout the entire journey, and we look forward to catching you again next season. But for now, we're going to be signing out from the Canton Memorial Field House as Dalton marching on to the Elite 8. Colonel Crawford wrapping up another great season as they get to the regionals for the second straight year, the first time in program history that they've been able to accomplish that. Big ups to First Federal Community Bank for sponsoring tonight, along with Old 30 Barbecue and Baker's Pizza in Bucyrus. Also, thank you, Arrow Accounting, Simonson Construction LLC, and Burkhart Farm Center for supporting us here tonight. And how can we forget about Frito Lay? For our awesome director, producer, Adam Thompson and Hayden Gray, my name is Brian Skowronski, signing out here from Canton. But guess what? We've got more live streams on the way tonight, so make sure that you tune in. Check out Mohawk, see if they can get a win against Convoy Crestview right now. So long.